G'day cocktail lovers, it's experiment time in the Angry Bar. I was looking through a few recipes in online websites and there was one bar that had this really interesting sounding ingredient. They had fat washed some cognac with sweetened condensed milk. I saw that and went, haven't heard of that before, I need to try that. But I'm going at it slightly differently because I actually ended up with some sweetened condensed coconut milk. And I found this when I was in my eggnog phase over Christmas and I was trying different ingredients and different things. I used sweetened condensed coconut milk instead of just sweetened condensed dairy milk in one particular version of eggnog, and I really liked it, so I have it on hand. I thought of two ways to do this and make a rum coconut liqueur. One was literally just put some of the condensed milk in and shake it up and see if that held together like that. And the second was an actual fat washing thing. And to do that, I put the rum and the sweetened condensed coconut milk in a saucepan, put it on a gentle heat because I wanted it to really get infused and get those flavors going through there. Didn't get it very hot because I didn't want any of the alcohol to boil off, but I warmed it up a little and then I poured that into a jar and I thought I'm going to put that in the freezer, and the cream of coconut, well, it's not cream of coconut, it is sweetened condensed coconut milk, will solidify and I'll be able to filter out the rum really easily. So then I'll have the two versions. The one where I shake it up so it's a blend, and the one where I've just got the flavors fat washed in there. And I discovered two things. One thing I discovered, when you shake it up, it just naturally separates anyway. So that's the thing. Second thing I discovered is this sweetened condensed coconut milk that's floating on the top doesn't freeze. It's like absorbed enough alcohol that it doesn't freeze. So I had to run it through a filter. I used some coffee filter, paper coffee filter. It worked really well. It's this beautiful light yellow color, and there's this. So I figure I can shake something up. So this one, I think if I like how this works, I'll just shake it up every time I use it, and then I'll have this one as well. Now, if I like this, I could still add some sweetened condensed coconut milk to this to have it all that way. If I like this more, I'll just wait for that to separate again and I will filter it and I'll have more of this. But I'm going to taste them now side by side. I'm going to try the filtered version first because I think the creamy version might overpower me with sweetness, because while this will have picked up sugar and flavor, this has all the sugar and flavor still in it. So I think this is going to be the more subtle, but we'll see. I'll give it a taste. That is really good. I made this with a really flavorful white rum. Oh, that's extremely pleasant. That is very nice, and it's not too much. Now, compare it with the shaken up one. Odd, slight bitterness in this. I expected this to be hugely, noticeably more sweet. I think the flavors have come out better in the filtered version. I think that's my answer. I'll give it a little bit more. No, I definitely like the filtered version by quite a bit. So I'm going to set this, let it separate out a bit, and then I'm going to filter, so I'll have even more of this. But I have a new rum now, well, a coconut rum liqueur, so I feel like I should try it out the way I always try out a rum, make a daiquiri. I'm going to keep this daiquiri quite simple because this rum liqueur is sweetened. I don't think I'm going to need to add sugar syrup, but we'll give it a go and see how this works out. So in the mixing glass, I'm putting 2.5 ounces or 75 mils of my coconut rum liqueur. Then it's 3/4 of an ounce, around 22.5 mils of lime juice. And that is it. Adding ice to the shaker, shaking that good and hard for 10 or 15 seconds to get it chilled and a bit of dilution. And then I'm straining that into a chilled coupe. It's interesting, you can see the coconut fat suspended in this, I guess. I'm going to give it a taste now. That is a delight. It does not need any more sugar. I was right. The lime juice goes so well, but a daiquiri is such a great drink. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. Super easy. I recommend you just check out supermarkets if you want to try this. Find some sweetened condensed coconut milk. Yeah, just infuse it for a day or two or longer if you want, and then filter it out. I'm solid on that. Having tasted one where it was just shaken up and the other one where it's filtered, the flavor in the filtered one is just so much better. And it looks pretty good too. This looks pretty good. I'm going to sit down and chill out with my coconut daiquiri And honestly, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. I hope you're looking after yourself wherever you are, and I hope to see you again soon. Until I do see you again, I will say cheers.